Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I am your host Desi Shark, and the topic that I am going to cover in today's video is emergency fund. Because of the COVID-19 crisis, there is an economic crisis that is following this dreadful disease. How to survive in this economic crisis when businesses are being shut down, people's salaries have been cut down, and many people have lost their job permanently. One of the things that is going to help you survive this crisis is emergency fund.
What is an emergency fund? As the name suggests, it is the fund or some amount of money kept or saved separately for an emergency. So, how is an emergency fund different from savings and a normal investment? See, savings or investments are done to achieve a particular or a well-defined goal in life. Example, people buy solid gold so that later they can use it in their kids' marriage. Some people invest in gold via sovereign bond for returns. We all invest in health insurance so that in later stages of life it can be used to render medical services and the expenses for the same. Many people invest in stock market so that over a long duration of time they get good returns on their investment, and the same money can be used for education of the kids, to buy a new house, to buy a new car, or for their retirement. These are the examples of active or a passive saving or investment. But an emergency fund is completely different from a saving or an investment. It is not a saving or an investment, and we should not expect any returns on it. The first rule of emergency fund is that it should be always in cash form or in liquid form. Emergency fund is needed in following scenarios: sudden loss of job or unemployment, business failure, example, fire breakout or waterlogging in the shop, economic shutdown as seen in COVID-19 crisis, road accidents in the middle of the night, sudden moving from one city to other city due to numerous personal, professional or miscellaneous reasons. Now the next question is how to calculate an emergency fund, or how much money do you need and for how much time. Universal rule for emergency fund is to accumulate the monthly expense of 6 months. For example, if your monthly expense is 20,000 rupees, you have to multiply it by 6. That is, your emergency fund will be 1,20,000 for the survival of 6 months. If your monthly expense is 50,000 rupees, then your emergency fund will be 50,000 into 6 months, that is 3 lakh rupees. So, let's say an emergency arises and you lose your job. This emergency fund is going to help you get back on track in 6 months, and your family will be safe and secure. In these 6 months, you can find a new job. Now, let us see how to save or accumulate an emergency fund. Example, if your monthly salary is 1 lakh rupees and monthly expenses 50,000 rupees, out of the remaining 50,000 rupees, 25,000 can be used for an investment or saving, and rest 25,000 is to be saved as an emergency fund per month. So, over a course of 1 year, that is 25,000 into 12 months, your emergency fund for 6 months amount of 3 lakh rupees will be ready. People often make a mistake of investing an emergency fund into gold or in stock market. Both these investments are subject to market risk, and people end up losing the emergency fund. I personally recommend the emergency fund to be stored in a saving account or in a fixed deposit. The advantage of keeping an emergency fund in fixed deposit is 6% annual rate of interest can be earned on it without taking any risk. So whenever an emergency arises, we can just go to our mobile application, dissolve our fixed deposit, and cash amount of money will be available via a debit card or a credit card or for electronic transfer. As your salary increases, the room for savings also increase, and so should your emergency fund. This picture shows the importance of emergency fund in COVID-19 crisis or any other crisis. A person who has emergency fund is able to survive the crisis more comfortably as compared to another person who has no emergency fund.
So guys, hopefully you liked the video of emergency fund. I request you all that if you have learned even 10 to 15% from this video, do like, subscribe and share my channel, and hopefully it will be helpful for someone who needs to have a basic financial knowledge. I also request you guys not to support abusive content or misleading content on YouTube. Thank you.